right, we are live. One person, one like already. Holy cow. Two likes, one person. Thank you. 5 likes, one person. Holy cow. That is amazing. Tijuana Border Jumper, how are you, my friend? Hey, Troy, how are you? MJ, how are you? Shari, how are you? Jesse, good. Good evening. RH, Sharon Williams, hello. Keith, how are you, buddy? Good seeing you. Glenn, always a pleasure seeing you. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good tonight. Now that it's Saturday and I'm here with you guys. What's up, Doll? Sniff it out. What's going on? Richard, Colleen, Winter Sky, hello. Derek Davies, what's going on, my friend? Mr. Anderson. M. Kirby, hello. Poppy from Sweden. Hi, Janie. How are you? What's up, Larry Fisher? Sonia, hello there. Larry Lindman. Holy shit, Lindman. 50 people? Oh my God. Larry, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you. I really, oh my God. Nick Hendricks, how are you? Mega, how are you? Frank, Delirium, what's up, Matthew? How are you, buddy? Always a pleasure seeing you. Charmaine, hello. Lexa, good evening. Wow, Larry, thank you so much, my friend. I truly appreciate that. What's going on, Blue Dodge? Hello, Donna Royal. Justin Parrish, hello. Coffee Chris, sup. Old Man Baller. Mystical Goat. Michelle Cook. I'm sick of hello. Hi. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Gregory. Yes, Jane. Holy cow. Larry's amazing. Nighthawk Strangeness. How are you, buddy? I'm drinking Japanese Diet Coke tonight. Dude, it just keeps going. People are just getting gifted. Like, that is insane. Poppy Girl, how are you? Tom Ninja 6. Fiance just got new tatas. Lindman, fuck yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, you just made my fucking night, dude. That is so funny. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think of something to say about that and still be respectful, you know? Like, but I can't think of anything to say about that and still be respectful. So, congratulations, Larry. Holy shit. Jeannie, how are you tonight? Frank Morris, what's going on? What's up, New England Dirt Bike? Dirt Roadie? Lucas Williams, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Sonic Fox, JP. Gregory Alexander. Wayne, what's up? Red Cardinal. It's just midnight right now. Hitting midnight. Boom. Start a little early. Get you guys in here. Wesley September. How are you? Busuf. What's going on? No, that's not how you say it. Fuss. Yeah, Busuf. Pine Knot. You know, every time I see Pine Knot's name, I just want to say Pine Nut. I don't know why. But not like the pine nuts that you eat. Like, I have like a weird, dirty mind. So like when Clint comes in, every time Clint comes in, I just want to be like, Boosifus. I said it last week. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. It's on your end if there's buffering, Red Cardinal. I have amazing internet, and it's the highest right now. Robin N, how are you? Randall Kennedy? Because I literally like check every time I go live. I make sure that everything's good. David Thompson, how are you, my friend? Ford sucks. You know it. Mammy, how are you? Oh, thanks, MJ. I appreciate that. Oh, Boosyfuss, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Any news stories here in Florida? Maybe tonight. I don't know. I've had a really fucked up couple of days, couple of months actually. And Janice Morrow, how are you? Good seeing you. Welcome to the live. I haven't seen you in a long time. So I literally was on the seat of my pants all day. I guess that's the thing, and just trying to get shit done. I do have a lot lizard experience. Edna Wilson, how are you? Thanks, Pine Knot. I appreciate that. I don't know. Japanese Diet Coke does not taste good. It tastes like fucking stale asshole. I don't know how I know stale asshole tastes like, but what's up, Jersey Nightcat? How are you? IE Native, how are you? Richard Minnick, how are you? I imagine that this bottle of fucking Japanese diet, this is what stale asshole probably would taste like. From like no, we're not even going to go any further. We're just not even going to go fucking further. I'll start picturing things. And thank you, Robin N. I appreciate you. I really do. Tastes like lead. This does not taste like no chicken. If this tastes like chicken, it does not taste like any chicken. That's like saying McDonald's tastes like beef. That tastes like no beef I've ever had. Carla, thank you so much. Welcome to the show tonight. I haven't seen Gringo. I'll have to message him. I see him in the comments during the week periodically. I'll have to check on him. You know what? I'm going to actually write that down and make sure. I haven't seen Truth Quest either. I've not seen Truth Quest in quite some time. Gringo. There we go. We'll get some fucking tea in my face. Oh, that's so much better. Marge, how are you? What's up, Sumner? How are you, buddy? Randy C, how are you? You know, every time anyone drinks, fucking RFK's asshole goes like this. Anytime anyone drinks a Diet Coke, RFK puckers right up. I don't know how I know that either. No, I did not get a new tattoo. Nicholas Carroll, how are you tonight? Captain Ron, I can't talk about it, but it's going. Everything's good. It's done. I removed everything that they told me to. That's all I know. As far as that, I can't. What's wrong with my glasses, Pine Knot? You don't like them? I like them. I feel like Andy Warhol, but I don't like swing that way. I'm like the manly Andy Warhol, except I can't paint. Well, I could probably paint better than he did. I know I can paint better than Basquiat did. What's up, Wayne? Wayne, how are you, buddy? I just wanted to get something different. Kakalina, how are you? How about some RV or Tab, Jeff? I liked Tab. Tab was good. Because my mom used to suck that shit down like it was fucking water. I hear you, Alan. I hear you. I don't give a shit what they say about me. It is good to see everyone. You're absolutely right, Craigers57. What's up, Gen X? How are you tonight? Tab is good. Tab was like this pink. It was a Coke product, and it tasted better than Diet Coke, actually, for some reason. But check this out. Ding, ding. Oh, man, I almost made some weird fucking noise, like, but lemon flavored Pepsi. This is not diet. This is not diet. And I'm not drunk. It is good. It is good. What's going on, Nicola? How are you? Thank you, Norman. And you can see the shape shifting. I don't know. I don't think that on that side you'd see that much shape shifting. On Baron's face. What? I'd have to agree. That motherfucker is way too tall to be a human. I bet you at night his tail drops out of his booter hole. It fucking drops. And then Donald's like, get back in your room, you lizard cryptid looking lot lizard motherfucker. Get in your room. No, I'm scared. I like Oreo cookies in my milk, like cereal. But to mix Oreo and Coca-Cola is just, that is like a blasphemous thing to do to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is just too good to corrupt with Oreo. That is, it is filthy, 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 dirty, dirty water. It is disgusting, Lindman. You tried it, buddy? So I'm literally 1, 2. So we have 2 more live streams. And on the 7th, we may or may not have a live stream. I don't know yet. I'm hoping, but chances are we're not. So I'm not sure. But if I can pull it off, I will. If I can't, I won't. Bobby, how are you? Bobby Schultz, how are you tonight? Adam, what's going on, my friend? Caden Zero, how are you? If you shake it more than 4 times, you are playing with it. But I always shake it 5 or 6 just to be on the safe side. If I could drink soda, I'd go for, but root beer's good. Root beer's good. Root beer. You know, that's another person we've been missing is Golden Member. I like Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke's good. The new fruit ginger ale is pretty good. Mellow Yellow is dank, though. Mellow Yellow compared to, like, Mountain Dew, I'd have to go Mellow Yellow all day long. Yeah, it's like a fruit fusion ginger ale. It's more or less like a cherry flavored ginger ale. It's very good. I like it. That is weird, Jane. Are you logged in on your iPad? My weekend was good. Isabel's birthday was yesterday. And yeah, my weekend was good. Cream sodas. I like cream soda. No, I do have a Lot Lizard story tonight, but I have not yet fancied myself with the lot lizard company. Yeah, maybe someday. Maybe someday. I gotta find a lot lizard that looks quite similar to Lizzo, and then when I do, I will take pictures with me holding her. Maybe like a little lick in the ear. No, I'm just kidding. Jolt? Yeah, I remember Jolt. That was like 8 times the fucking caffeine of Coca-Cola, or 3 or 2 times. I used to get tremors after freaking. We'll start the night off with a very interesting kind of experience. And when I found this, I instantly thought about people playing with Ouija boards, and how, like, when I was younger and the night that everything really went crazy with my Ouija board experience and my cousins, this kind of, and I was like, I got to share this with you guys tonight. So when I was 14, me and my brother and 4 friends, we all saw some type of witch. We had a friend and 2 girls stay over. That's kind of exciting to have girls stay over when you're 14. One of the girls wanted to do a seance, but I come from a Christian home and I believe in God. But, you know, kids will be curious, dabbling in everything. This neighborhood had vacant lots, so we went into a vacant lot. She drew a circle and a 5-pointed star. We got around the circle and she begins to spell out things. It was a joke, you know. We ended up walking after, and it was like a big cul-de-sac. So we got around the bend, going up a hill, and then coming back down. One of the girls, I think her name was Michelle, noticed something at the top of the hill. So we all looked back and we saw this large, dark figure. And we began to run. And when we turned around, it stopped. It was kind of like it was playing with us. It reminded me of the movie Jeepers Creepers, the creature that was just toying with the kids. Well, we get around the bend. At the time, I didn't see any red eyes. When we got to my house, back onto my road, we began to taunt this thing. And that is when we definitely saw red eyes. It was a huge dark figure, but we couldn't see any wings or anything like that. But we did see its red eyes and how large it was. We began to taunt this thing again, and there was a street light that was fixed on our road. This creature went from one side to the other while it was in the light, like it was seeing itself in the light. That's what scared us and made us run into the house. We woke up my mom, and after that, we stayed in the house from that point on. I only tell this to my family, to my wife, and to my child because it was amazing. This all started when my friend did that seance. Patrice, how are you? Yeah. Ouija boards are bad mojo. My Ouija board experience was not good. Michael, here, I'll put my email in the thing for you right now, buddy. All right, my email is right under yours. Thank you, mods. Doing your job. Wonderful job, mods. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I just had mods because people said I needed mods. What's up, Flash in a Pan? You fucking missed it, Flash in a Pan. Larry Lindman started the night with a 50 membership gift. And I bet you I literally thought of you too, Flash. I know you did, Rockin'. I'm only fucking with you. I literally don't care. I literally only have mods because I don't know. It sounded good. I've noticed that you've been doing the abandoned hospital, Caden. Is there a basement there, Caden, in that abandoned hospital? I love you also, Rock and Steady, but not in that way. Only if there's spit involved. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking weird. That's really fucking weird. Yes, it does, Alan. It does. That hospital is fucking cool, Caden. I really it's very cool to watch, to look at those pictures that you do, bud. I'd love YouTube made me. No, I made you a mod, Janie. I was only fucking with you that whole time. I literally made you a mod. You fell for it. DB Mac hasn't been in here either. Speaking of, thank you, Craigers. Caden, I'd really like to see, if I take it as constructive criticism or whatever, but I honestly would love to see some like video of that. It looks like a very cool abandoned hospital. Like I think a lot of people would like to see some footage of it, just to be safe. You know what I mean? Don't go fucking ham and go into places that you shouldn't. But it looks really cool. I'd love to go there with you sometime if I was in Cali. Dragon Sage. Thank you, Mad Dog. Thank you. I really, like, I have wanted to do so much, but with everything, family issues and bullshit, and now my surgery coming up on the 5th, I haven't had time to like do shit. My kayak's still in my living room downstairs. Like I haven't done shit. What's up, Ginger? How are you? JJ, how are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. I have a Dogman encounter. Dude, I really want to hear it. Send me an email. Listen, Michael Freedom Foxtrot, when you send me the email, if you send it to me tonight or tomorrow, Aramek, when you send me the email tonight or tomorrow, if I don't respond like within an hour or two, like, hey, I got this, I'll contact you in a day or two. If you don't get a response from me, send another email, because sometimes I don't get emails coming back to me. It's weird. It's very strange. I don't know why. I'm looking forward to hearing it. And because he just stepped in the house, I have, thank you, Claire. Thank you. This goes out to Aramek and his love and his just absolute obsession with the Mothman. Aramek, this one is for you. Aramek does not believe in the Mothman. For those of you who have not been to the live stream, the reason why I say that is because he doesn't believe in the Mothman. Like, it's just something he does not believe in. God bless him. In July of 2011, my wife and I were spending a weekend at a friend's cabin 15 kilometers north of Manitou Falls, Ontario, Canada. We were both sitting on the porch looking into the woods. 2 spotlights were shining off of the porch, so the woods and the open area in front of the cabin were well lit. I'd spent a lot of time in this general area as a boy, and I'm aware of the wildlife here. It was close to midnight as we sat and talked. It was still very mild, still night, but for some reason, the usual sounds of the woods were subtle. I wasn't alarmed, but it did seem strange. Sometimes when a lynx hunts at night, things do go quiet. So I assumed that may be what was going on. I kept my eyes open just in case another predator was about. Eventually, my wife wanted to go inside, so I obliged her and followed her. I left the porch spotlights on. We went into bed at around 1:30 in the morning and both quickly dozed off. Next thing I remember is my wife shaking me, telling me to wake up. She said she had heard screaming coming from outside of the cabin. She was not used to being outdoors, so I told her it was either an owl or a lynx. She insisted that that no animal could have made this terrible noise, that it sounded like a woman in distress. I looked at my phone. It was 2:33 exactly. I got out of bed and walked to the front living room. I looked out the window, but I did not see a thing. She was right behind me. Then the scream pierced the night again. This time I definitely heard it, and it was not like anything I had ever heard before. We stood by the cabin window and watched the woods. About 10 minutes later, we heard something on the top of the cabin porch roof. It sounded like it was jumping up and down. It was so loud and forceful that I thought it may go through the porch roof. We continued to watch when all of a sudden this huge winged creature flew from above toward the woods. It was massive and dark in color. The wings were fully open and not moving, like it was gliding toward the trees. We caught a decent look at this creature as it sailed upward into the dark sky, then descended back toward the edge of the woods. It performed this maneuver more than 2 times until it came streaming and screaming towards the open ground in front of the cabin and then vanished. The wings had been tight against its body, and it looked like a dark missile about to slam into the clearing, but it disappeared before it hit the ground. We both jumped and let out a huge gasp. It was the most shocking experience I had ever had. My wife was wide-eyed and had to sit down. What in the world was that thing? I have tried to comprehend what we witnessed that night, and I still have no idea as to what it was. It had arms and legs like a human, but the body was scrawny and flexible. It's hard to describe. The head was barely visible. Overall, I guess it would be 4 feet or so in height, and wide, billowy wings spread out to at least 15 feet when fully extended. The scream was the most memorable part of the experience. It really did sound like a frightened woman, but the decibel level made our ears uncomfortable. A few days later, I asked my friend if he had ever seen anything unusual at the cabin. The most exciting event he could recall was a badger getting into the kitchen one night. That was the extent of it. I decided not to go into details with him, but did say that my wife and I had an eerie night and that we didn't get much sleep because of the strange noises coming from the woods. He just shrugged his shoulders and said nothing. We need giant bug light too. Yeah. Thank you, Aramek. Thank you for showing up tonight. What's up, 59th? How are you, buddy? Robert Sharp, how are you? Yeah, just don't go back to that cabin, you know? Like, I thought him and his wife, I thought, they were going to... And then see the Mothman. The way he was talking, it got me a little excited. I was like, yeah, boy. But nope, and nope. It's just a jewel, 420. It's just a jewel. It was creepy, though, how it dive bombed, like, and then disappeared. So did it go into a portal? But wouldn't they see, like, I don't know. That's really fucking creepy. Where did it go? It was pretty climactic, Darren. The beard will come back. Don't worry, buddy. I promise. What's up, Darren? How are you, buddy? Tigger is lying on the back of the couch. So Tigger is having issues right now because Isabel has her kitten here. And, it's here, buddy. It's here, RH, in a little bit. And Tigger is like trying to figure out what is different in the house because Isabel has a pretty large bedroom and the kitten hangs out in there. So thanks, Darren K. Appreciate that. It's a cute fucking kitten. It is so cute. It has this elongated face. It looks like a baby panther on crack. It's really skinny. It eats a lot. Like it eats a lot. It doesn't have worms because I got it fixed and it got its first round of shots like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm waiting for them if they meet each other and Tigger takes a leak on it, like then I'll be like, all right, I guess he's yours. What's up? I'm so grave. How are you? Kimberly, how are you tonight? Lot lizards do have worms. They honestly do. Patrice, you know it. You know what? Tigger's like fucking Mr. Smithers. His old fucking grumpy ass. Dude, Tigger does look like Grumpy Cat though. When he gives you like the old dirt eye. Like, fuck you, buddy. That's what he says to me too. Oh, American Coca-Cola is so much better than fucking Japanese Coca-Cola. Spit on that shit. My squirrel keeps getting peed on. Oh, Tigger is the best cat. I love Tigger. Mexican Coca-Cola is great. Anytime I go to Chipotle's, I got to get a 6-pack of that shit. The wall squirrel is dead and the smell is starting to go away now. No, the kitten is not a Maine Coon. The kitten is a I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's fucking it's awesome, but it's kind of an asshole, but I love him. I really do. He's so cute. The Snellygaster. I love the Snellygaster. You know that story, the Snellygaster lore came from German immigrants that settled in like Maryland and Virginia. What's up, Mickey? I've got a good Bigfoot story tonight. You know what, Larry? I'll do the Bigfoot story for you right now since you gifted 50 people. Let me find it. Bear with me. Bear with me, please. There we go. All right. This one goes out to you, Larry Lindman. Goes out to you, baby. Within the past 2 or 3 years, I put pieces together from my childhood and concluded that the creature we all feared when we were kids, which we simply named the thing in the woods, was in fact a Bigfoot. There were just too many similarities to a lot of incidents and descriptions that I've heard from researchers and eyewitness accounts. I also looked up sighting reports and couldn't believe it when I saw that my area, Western Pennsylvania, was a literal hotbed of activity. And I can commiserate with others. Having something like this lurking in your home area is terrifying, especially for kids. I remember these occurrences really didn't start happening until I was around 11 and my sister was 8. I remember when we first acknowledged our thing to a couple of our cousins when they were visiting one day. We were sitting on my grandmother's porch, who lived right next door to us in this rural area. It was going to start getting dark in about an hour or so, and we started getting nervous. Our cousins kept asking why we were saying we had to go down to the house before it got dark. We finally told them that there is something that would come through the woods after dark that sounded like a freight train and broke tree branches. I guess that was a vital clue. That, and it stunk awful. The best way to describe it then was like burning rubber. That's when my older cousin, very calmly and matter of fact, simply said, "Oh, it sounds like you have the thing in the woods here too." We were shocked and asked him what he meant. He recalled a story he had heard that his dad and uncle talking about to their wives the previous hunting season, about 2 or 3 hours from our place. They always went deer hunting and in the summer went fishing. They had this little tin trailer they brought to the property that was a couple of hours from our houses. They had it there for a couple of years. He said that this past hunting season, they cut their trip early, coming home after only about 3 days. And they got home at some crazy hour in the morning because they had left in the middle of the night to come home. Their reason was the fouling. My cousin said that his dad and uncle had been up at the camp and everything seemed normal at first, though it seemed that there were fewer deer this season. Populations changed, so they didn't think anything of it. The first night they were there, one of them thought they heard some tree breaks while he was relieving himself, but thought nothing of it since there are bear up there as well. Trees can break naturally too and fall. That night they slept well, but when they left in the morning, they saw some odd pine cones and a couple of small rocks around their trailer. They couldn't figure out where they came from. The second night, they both heard pinging on the roof in the back of the trailer that sounded like really heavy big hail. It only happened randomly, but it was enough to pique their interest. They looked outside and didn't see anything. They commented that the smell was awful, like skunky. It was my cousin's uncle that had said it reminded him of burning tires on asphalt in a heat of summer. That's why when we said that it tipped my cousin off. Outside the next morning, they found more rocks behind the trailer. They climbed the ladder to the roof to see there were rocks on top. This definitely perplexed them, but they thought maybe it was some stupid kids messing with them. So they hunted that day, and that final night, they were talking and listening to see if something would happen again. And sure enough, some large rocks started hitting the trailer. They went out with their guns and yelled whoever was out there to stop, that they had the right to protect their property and they would do so. But the rocks kept coming. They went back out and smelled that foul odor again, very strong to the point. Then they heard what they can only describe as loud, powerful slaps on the backside of the trailer. Now they were mad. They ran out again with their guns to confront the pranksters. They said that they all saw was a dent in the trailer, and as they panned their flashlight, they caught a glimpse of something large taking off through the tree line. They said that it had dark fur like a bear, but they both said they saw it running upright like a person. They knew no one in a fake suit could move that stealthily or put a dent in the side wall of a trailer. They went inside, and one of them said, "We just saw effing Bigfoot." They packed their things up and left within an hour, feeling very threatened. That was the last time they ever went to that property. So something terrified these lifelong hunters and woodsmen into giving up something that they loved. Hearing that experience made me a believer. We were all terrified all through growing up in the woods. Even to this day, after more recent encounters, I'm just as scared and won't go there at night. And what truly solidified my belief in Bigfoot was around here was when I started to live with my ex, not living there now because he passed unexpectedly. He insisted that there were Bigfoot coming onto the property. He had some weird habits too, which made me feel he was serious. He was a very well-respected Army vet and active duty policeman. Bronze Snake, I was just talking about Golden Member. What's going on? How are you? DB Mac, how are you? Fucking Bronze Snake. What's up, Neck? How are you, buddy? X-Taz, did you just send it, bub? Rando, what's going on? Justin Jensen, how are you? Friday. I might not have gotten it. I don't recall it, to be honest. Could you send it again, please? I don't get emails like the first time sometimes people send them. Didn't know you had tats. I got lots of tats, brother. How are you, Sean? Good seeing you here. What is the congratulations of Tony? What did Tony do? I missed something. Tony, hello, everyone. Oh! Tony Champy, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Awesome. New dad, 5-day-old baby girl. Good for you. Do you mind if I ask what you named your new daughter, my friend? Hey, Autumn Cassidy, how are you? Golden member, how are you, brother? I literally asked about you. I was like, I miss Golden member. Mindy, how are you? Ivy Grace, that's a beautiful name. That is freaking beautiful. Congratulations. Beautiful name. Awesome. What's up, Alan Howell? Man, dude, this live stream, our family here is freaking great. You know? 29 degrees. Oh, Barry. I envy you. I really do envy you because I wish I could be kayaking. I fucking miss it. I pray that you never see a Dogman either, my friend. But I kind of believe I had a Bigfoot out here one night. I wouldn't doubt it. If you're close to the woods. Joe is missing, Caden. Where's Joe? Larry Lindman, 60 tonight. Holy schnitzels. Lindman's on a roll. Let's see if fucking Flash in a Pan gets one. Oh, do they? Oh, come on, Flash. No! Flash in a Pan does not get one. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Flash in a Pan. I do not mean to laugh. Oh, I know. I missed you, and I am only human. I missed something. What happened, Nick, to your friend? Email me later or text me later and tell me what happened, please. I missed it. But it is time. This one goes out to Larry Lindman. $20. It's $20. That was fucking good. That one was real good. That was my Lizzo call. That bitch is running right now. She is running like 2 miles an hour. The fucking sidewalk is cracking. Her ass is stanking, and she's coming and looking. My cat just ran. Rando. Oh. I missed it again. I'm assuming, Nick, one of your friends passed away, brother? Hang on, I got to do the old ball fucking shuffle. Woo! Yes, the police car is there, my friend. The police car is there. I have an Aztec. I have 2 Aztec death whistles. Pups is missing too tonight. She might be listening because she's quite sick right now. If everyone could send out a prayer to Pups as well. She's real sick. But Pup sent me an Aztec death whistle, and fucking my friend Shackleneck sent me one too. Some of my favorite experiences are the aquatic cryptids. I love. Are my messages coming through? Girth, your messages. I just saw your message, but I'm not really like pounding through the chat tonight. I'm kind of just peeking through. But yes, Girth Brooks. I fucking love his name. Yes. So we got a mermaid experience. Fucking nuts. Hang on. I got to adjust my nuts. Oh, that's better. Much better. He is so girthy. Oh, girth. Aramark! Thank you, my friend. Let's see if fucking Flash in a Pan. Does Flash in a Pan? I sure do love the Dodgers, though. I sure do. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Flash in a Pan. It is just... Andy Davis, it is not gay if we were not in the same state. So we are good. I do have a TikTok, but I don't use it quite often. I have followers on it. I don't know how. I don't know. Oh, shit. It's only a little. Only a little. All right, here we go. Yeah, that one, Rando, that one is creepy. With the kid in the wheelchair. I don't like that one. That one fucks me up. I don't know, Sasquatchin. I honestly don't know how that works. I was in prison with one of the captains from the show Deadliest Catch. No shit. I bet you they had some fucking scary stories, Justin. You just emailed it to me, Xtaz? Let me check. Got it, Xtaz. Got it. All right, here we go. There's Pops. I was just talking about you. Everyone sent you a prayer. All right, here we go. They'll fish anywhere. What's up, Charles Widmore? How are you, buddy? This event took place in September of 2020 near a small town of Los Buenos, California. This town is between Modesto and Sacramento, and it is surrounded by hills and mountains. It was my birthday, and I decided that I wanted to go night fishing with my dad, an older brother, and a friend, since it was a pretty warm night. There's a back road canal called Madeira Road. This canal is surrounded by orchards of orange trees. It was around 12:15 in the morning when we first arrived at the fishing spot, but when we first got there, my friend and I had this feeling that we shouldn't be here. It was a feeling that is hard to explain, but something was off. We ignored it and decided to set up our fishing poles for the night. Some background of this spot. There are two canals, one on the left and one on the right, that are separated by a little ravine. We were fishing in the right side, so the ravine and the other canal were facing our backs. While we were setting up our fishing poles, I heard what seemed like a high-pitched scream that sounded like it was in the ravine. As I heard it, I looked at my friend who also heard it, but the weird part was my dad and older brother were right next to us and didn't. It scared us, but we brushed it off as we were just hearing things. I was looking at my fishing pole when I had this overwhelming urge to look behind me. So I turned my flashlight on, and I saw what looked like two greenish yellow eyes looking at me from the other side of the ravine. I instantly froze in place. I was able to see the eyes blink like a human blinks, but these eyes were only 2 feet off the ground. But they were staring at us staring at me and my friend Sorry. But after staring at it for what felt like minutes, which was only a couple of seconds, these eyes started to get taller, as if whatever it was had been crouched and did not want to be seen. These eyes grew to be close to 7 feet. After these eyes raised higher, I was able to see an outline of whatever this thing was. Its arms hung low to the ground and seemed to have bad posture. I was completely frozen, but in the corner of my eye, I could see my friend turn around, and I saw he froze instantaneously as well. We both looked at this thing frozen with fear for no more than 3 seconds. You could see this thing start to turn around and take a step out of reach from the light. As it did this, I was unfrozen and able to move again. I instantly looked at my friend, who had eyes as wide as mine, and that means he told me what he had seen. This encounter only lasted a minute or two, and within those minutes, my dad and brother didn't see anything. So they were shocked when me and my friend started to pack everything up in a hurry. I remember saying, "We need to leave," over and over as we packed up. Once we got into the truck, my friend and I screamed at my dad to leave, which he did, but since it was a dirt road next to a canal, we couldn't speed off. Within that time it took us to get onto the main road, I felt this fear that I would never feel again. This canal is only 3 miles behind my house, and I was terrified and didn't sleep for days. The whole experience was weird because I always watched scary videos about cryptids and never really thought of anything being real until now. I fully believe that these things exist. Jessica, how are you? Yes, Neck, I am sorry to hear about your friend as well, brother. If you need to talk, you can call me. Sugar Seas, how are you? Kim Lemon, how are you tonight? Thank you for joining us. Andy Davis, not as awesome as you, my friend. Not as awesome as you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Juliana, how are you? My name is Sammy. I recently suffered a stroke and can't do much, but I found your channel and listen to you constantly. It is interesting and it keeps me entertained. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. I really do, and I hope that your health gets better. I really, really do. Aramec, thank you so much. I got to see. I'm going to dedicate an experience to you in a moment, but I got to see if Flash in a Pan got one. I got to see this. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you, Flash in a Pan. Wait, are you on your computer? You got to be on your computer. I think you can't be on your phone. I'll do another one in a minute. What do you think? Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Turner? How are you, brother? Caden, is that a tampon in a toilet? What are you doing? You fucking pervert. Alan Howell, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. North Carolina in the house. Alan Howell, thank you again. I need a shout out to Purpose and Grace. Purpose and Grace. Shout out. I don't know. Oh, shit. Not true, Jeff. I received one on my phone. Oh, you did? Okay. I don't know how that works, though. Anyway, Purpose and Grace, or Grace and Purpose, shout out to ya. RH, what are you blowing? Are you blowing bone? Oh, I get that one. Oh, if you're offering. No, I'm just kidding. Haha, that's funny. Richard, in a minute. we got to wait at least an hour before we do the, I only have one lot lizard story for the night. Let's see. Let me find this. Ooh, that one's good too, but let me find this. Ooh, that one's good too. Oh, this one right here. Here we go. This one goes out to Aramik and his fondness of the Mothman. One day he will believe. And I hope it's not because you have an experience with one, Aramik, because actually maybe if it picks you up and carries you into the air and tongue punches your booter hole, then you'd believe. And that would kind of maybe feel good. In the summer of 1996, when Earl was 12, he had been sleeping in the back room of his house on South Haskell Road in Indiana. It was dark, early morning, when he had been awoken by an unknown sensation that he had left something important in the yard. He got up to walk out onto the porch. He began to walk into the yard towards the 7-foot-tall fence, which was about 30 feet away from the side of his house. That's when he noticed a 7 to 8 foot tall, dark-colored, upright humanoid with large, long slits for eyes that projected a bright red light. As he walked toward it, he began to realize how big the creature was and froze. He saw an outline of large wings on its back, but he never observed the wings unfurled. He also saw its chest muscle definition and heard 3 bumping, repetitive sounds emanating from the being. When the winged humanoid quickly ascended upwards, flying away with a loud whooshing sound, the South Haskell Road, the house burned to the ground soon after. Later, a neighbor told him that he had seen other strange creatures in the woods behind their house. Whatever it was had torn open fox traps and stolen animals. After the house had burnt down, he continued to hunt for squirrels in the same woods. On at least 2 separate occasions, after bagging squirrels, he would leave the game in a secure location while he continued to hunt. Each time he returned to collect the squirrels, he saw trees, branches, and brush moving, discovering the squirrels had been gone. Years later, he married. He moved to Wayne Drive in LaPorte, Indiana. Since then, he has continued to experience unexplained activity in and around his property. So, I wonder if Jeff looks like Captain Kirk. No, I don't. That's weird, Caden. You're a weird fella. Claire Harris, shut your hole. No, I'm just kidding. I do not look like Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was a good-looking motherfucker. What's up, Happy G? How are you? All right, so I want to share. Y'all have heard my Dogman encounter, but I had mentioned the Ouija board experience when I first started the live stream, and I'll share it right now with you guys. Thanks, Jessica. So I was younger, and my family in South Glens Falls, New York, owned a lot of farmland on my mom's side. Actually, the town used to be called Jacobyville a long time ago, which was my mom's maiden name. So I'm down at my cousin's farm, and we're all hanging out. It's myself, my cousin Mel, my cousin JR, and our friend Nikki. And there's a couple of other people in and out of the barn that night. Interesting thing about the barn, I brought you guys down there once or twice with my camera. Interesting thing about it is it's very old, and the upstairs is a hayloft with no lights, because if there was like an electrical surge, there might have been a fire. So we had a stereo down there, and we always listened to metal. Like, I grew up, I was just like a metalhead. Actually, that's not true. I liked all kinds of music. So we decided that after we did, it was like the end of summer and it was a weekend because school was out. And we decided that after we did the chores for the night, we were going to play with the Ouija board. And we all looked forward to it. We were fucking addicted to this Ouija board. And it was fall because the pigs had piglets. So I remember watering the calves and we sat down. And you know those the crates that you could put 4 gallons of milk in and carry them? So we made a table out of those and the chairs. We had 4 chairs. So it's me, Mel, JR, and Nikki. And we're all playing Ouija board. And it said, like, it was saying some weird shit. And this is before Zozo. This is before the internet. And the first strange thing is it kept saying, OZ, 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 OZ. Little do we know, Zio, Zio, Zio. I'm thinking Ozzy, Ozzy. And all of a sudden, it like said something like demon. And there's this plastic at the end of the hall covering a window. And this kind of face kind of pushed out into the plastic. We saw it. We all saw it. And we were all like, what the fuck? So we're still playing. My cousin gets the bright idea. It's his dad's farm. He gets the bright idea because for some reason we had played Ouija all summer, all like winter, everything. And he gets the bright idea to take blood from a dead piglet and put it on the Ouija board. I don't know why. I honestly have no idea why he did this. So we start playing and things got really fucking weird really fast. It said that we were going to see hounds of hell. It said we were going to die all within like, you know. So we stopped because it really fucked us up. And we put the Ouija board away. We still had some chores to do. So in the ceiling was a door for the hayloft. Not a door, like a trap. It was wide enough to drop a hay bale down. And they pushed me up and I'm in the hayloft getting hay. And I remember seeing like a shadow of a human or humanoid running at me. No, there was no lights, but in the back side of the barn, there was a door that overlooked the outside pig pen. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I just dropped down. I literally just jumped down this hole onto the cement. And like, I remember my sneakers landing in the gutter. And we all saw it. A hand kind of swooped like out the thing. But it didn't look like a human hand. It looked like a humanoid hand. It was weird to describe. So we get my uncle and my dad go up there. There's nothing. There's a weird kind of, it looks like something was up there sleeping, but not like, it looked like something had made a nest up there. It was weird. We end up going and we crashed at my cousin's house. And I remember Mel and Jay had nightmares about being chased by demonic dogs. I had a Dogman encounter. My Dogman encounter was 2 years after this happened. And it said we were all going to die. So my cousin, Mel, who was like my older brother, he was like my fucking god. He was crushed to death. A tractor, like a dump truck, crushed him. He was working on it and something happened to like, I don't know exactly how it happened. I wasn't there, but my cousin JR got cancer young, like 2 years later, died. I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, manageable by medication. And our friend Nick is spiritually and mentally dead. He is a male prostitute in like California somewhere. Just fucked up. So that's like what happened. That's my Ouija board experience. And I still have a Ouija board to this day. No, it was not a meth head, Girth. And it's not a joking thing. Definitely not a meth head. It was just really like, I don't know. It fucked me up forever for a long time. So, lot lizard story, but hang on, I want to check something. Dude, I was telling you guys that story, and I literally fucking heard, like, it sounded like someone was standing outside of my room. Yeah, the story gets me because my cousin Mel was like, I was the only child, and I was raised like in the boonies, you know, like in farmland, and there was not a lot of my friends weren't around, you know. Like I lived miles and miles away from all my friends from school and shit. So my cousin was like my older brother and my best friend. We used to do everything together. Like he'd pick me up at random hours to just go and get Mountain Dew and a Kit Kat, you know, like 10 o'clock at night, he'd tap on my window. He'd be like, "You want to get a Dew and some Kit Kat?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go." You know, at like 14. Just really weird. Anyway, here is the lot lizard story. This is the Lizzo the lot lizard story with her stinky, stinky, dirty brown eye stretching out and ready for love. On an isolated stretch of Interstate 19, halfway between nowhere and nowhere else, stood Truck Stop 57. It boasted a gargantuan sign that flickered erratically, swinging between open 24/7 and out of order. At its heart was a diner that served the finest mix of greasy food and questionable coffee. Chickrit! Frequented by weary truckers and the occasional wide-eyed couple who mistook the stop for a romantic getaway. But beneath the neon haze of greasy spoons and the scent of aged oil, legends thrived. They whispered tales of a creature that roamed the yard outside the diner, a cryptid of sorts, known only as a lot lizard, a peculiar mix of myth and mischief, more enchanting than terrifying. They called her Lizzo, with shimmering greenish scales that glimmered under the fluorescent light. She had an uncanny ability to make truckers' nights both thrilling and terrifying. Most descriptions of her varied wildly, but all agreed she was mysterious, unpredictable, and slightly insane. One such night, as the stars blinked lazily above the truck stop, Dale, a burly trucker with an impressive mustache and a heart even bigger, pulled into Truck Stop 57. He parked his rig next to an old rusty Ford that looked like it had seen better days. Little did he know Lizzo was lurking nearby, observing with a mischievous glint in her amber-colored eyes. Dale, hangry after a long haul, wandered into the diner. As he waited for his fourth cup of chicory, because this one would definitely be the last, and he swore it. Deep in his thoughts about the road and rest stops, Lizzo decided it was showtime. She slipped inside unnoticed, blending within the shadows before manifesting with a dramatic flair at the counter. "Did someone order a wild night?" she crooned, her voice a rich mix of honey and chaos, hands on her hips as if posing for a magazine cover. Startled, Dale almost spit his chicory out. The hair on his arms prickled as he took in her scaled, somewhat slippery appearance. What? He blurted, not quite sure if this was a weird fever dream or just another Tuesday at the truck stop. Lizzo the lot lizard, she teased, snapping a half-eaten pickle from the counter into her mouth with a bold crunch for effect. Your friendly neighborhood cryptid here to spice things up. The other truckers in the diner fell silent, ours eyes darting between Lizzo and their plates, intrigued by the interloper. Dale scratched his head, his mustache twitched in confusion. You the one say messes with the truckers? Lizzo flashed a grin. Mess? Oh, honey, I prefer to say I enhance their experiences, keep their heart rate up and laughter rolling. Suddenly, with a single theatric moment, she raised her arm, sparkles of glitter flying from her fingertips. Where did she get glitter at a truck stop? I have jokes first. Why did the truckers stop at the bank? Dale sighed, sinking into his seat. Why? Because he heard they had a truck full of cash. Lizzo cackled, her laughter echoing in the diner, infectious enough for some truckers to chuckle under their breath, albeit weary. All right, Dale laughed despite himself. You got another one? Her grin widened. Sure. What do you call a trucker who can't stop talking? Dale threw up his hands. What? Afraid of phone, she exclaimed, again bursting into laughter, as if she had just knocked over a stack of dominoes. This time, everyone in the diner erupted in laughter, some shouting for Lizzo to do more. She danced around the diner, dodging napkin dispensers and coffee pots like a Broadway star in a horror comedy. Her energy was electric, captivating, and chaotic all at once. But as the clock ticked closer to midnight, Lizzo decided it was time for her grand finale. Ladies and gentlemen, for my last act, prepare yourself for the great and terrible Lizard in the Trucker's Box Challenge. What's that? Dale barked, half laughing, half concerned. Simple. You give me your lunchbox, and if I can fit in it, you owe me an ice cream. If I can't, she paused, dramatically fluttering her lashes. Well, you've got to do a dance with me right here and right now. Dale raised an eyebrow and handed over his rather large trucker lunchbox. With a theatrical flair, Lizzo contorted herself, wriggling and stuffing herself inside, her scales shining hilariously against the lunch meat and juice boxes. After a moment of silence, her impromptu prison suddenly burst open amidst a storm of laughter, a flurry of sandwich wrappers flying into the air. Dance off, she declared, using the leftover energy to leap out and whirl around the diner. As Lizzo began to jiggle and shimmy like nobody was watching, Dale found himself standing up, laughing harder than, well, he was hard. Before he knew it, he was dancing along with her, thoroughly embracing the madness and Lizzo's half-naked body. The night grew with wild laughter. And with every person joining in, Truck Stop 57 morphed into a quirky dance party under the glowing lights of flickering neon glowing lights. Lizzo, in her peculiar comedic cryptid glory, had revigorated the lives of all the weary truckers with nothing but a few jokes and a few missing clothes to mess with their mundane lives. And somewhere outside, under the twinkling stars, the tales of Truck Stop 57 and the resident lot lizard Lizzo would continue to echo on the highways of America, because who wouldn't want to dance with a cryptid named Lizzo after all? And that was the Lizzo lot lizard story for the evening. I'd have to agree with you, 59th. What's up, Lucas Williams? How are you, buddy? John Carpenter was trying to warn us. Sticking out of them, they had stuck. Maybe, Keith. Holy shit, Arabic, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Does Flash in a Pan get one? Oh my God. Oh my God. How is this not happening? How? Flash in a pan. Flash in a pan. What's up, Walter? How are you, buddy? No. Who will get one? Not Flash in a hand. Oh no. Steph, what's going on, brother? How are you? I fucking want one too. Shannon Brown, how are you tonight? I know, I feel bad for Flash. So does anybody I've had a couple weird things happen in my life. The Dogman experience, the Ouija board, and this Richard, thank you so much. Did they get one? Did they get one? Oh no. Oh no, we got one more. One more. Oh no. Oh no. I feel like fucking Eubanks on fucking whatever that stupid show was. Richard Minnick, thank you so much. I appreciate the love, brother. I really do. I know you did. I know you're like, let's try it. How did you find out there was no Santa? I fucking watched my mom wrap my presents one year. What's up, Jody? You will get one eventually, Flash. I promise. If I have to buy one myself for you, I'll figure out how to do it. I will figure out. So, all right. There was a place that me and my friends, when we were younger, it was National Grid owned it. And it sat between the Hudson River and like an old train tracks. It was this really empty field, but at the far end of the field was all of the electrical grid for the surrounding towns up here. So we would drive into this field. It was about 1.5 miles off the main road. It was just a dirt road that meandered through the woods. And one night we were hanging out, and I'll never forget it. It was like me, my friend Jeff, my friend Eugene, his brother Sean, and another friend Kobe. We're all hanging out in the car, and we get out to smoke a bowl. And this is when bowls were metal. Larry Lindman, thank you so much. My hunting dog bailed on like a freight train running. Pretty sure it was a Bigfoot. Holy shit, brother. Holy shit. Text me tomorrow. I want to talk to you about that. I gotta get the ins on that. So I freaking we're smoking, and it was when bowls were metal, but this was long ago. And there was this light, like a spotlight that came out from, the woods. And I was like, we all thought it was a helicopter at first, but it wasn't. It was just this random fucking light, and it went over us. And we all jumped in the car. And I remember the light kind of staying above us. And Gibby, Jeff, spun around and drove out. And we kept going back to this place. And weird shit would just happen. Just weird, strange shit kept happening here. So one day, it was afternoon, we had this kid that went to school with us. He was way older than us. And he was in college, and he met this girl that was from Arizona. And her parents were from Mexico. So she had like dual citizenship. But he brought us up peyote buttons. And I'll never forget, like, we sat down and we ate our fucking mescaline. And, like, I don't know, 40 minutes went by and we all started sweating. And the next thing we know, we're in this location. The river's there, the train tracks, woods around us. And we all start like running, and it wasn't the same people in the car. It was me, Joel, my friend Joel, Eugene, and Sean, the two brothers, and Jeff was with us. So we're just all hanging out, And I'm running with Eugene because me and Eugene went to school together. We grew up together. And I remember saying, "What's that in the woods?" And he goes, "What do you mean? What's in the woods?" And he turns and we're just running. We're tripping nuts. And I see like this weird kind of fucking gargoyle like monster running in the woods with us. And I'm like, "There it is. You don't see it? You don't see it?" And he's like, "I don't see it. I don't see it." Um, and I felt like it was attached to me for some reason. So then we've been to this spot like years. We always hung out here. We knew the woods like crazy. But on this day, we find this weird building. Um, Mind you, we've been here for like a billion times. So how the building was, it was there's the ground is flat and there's a drop off in this like cement building. It had a flat roof and we had to drop down to get into it. It was like a square. So so this would be the top and there's trees. There's trees all around it, right? So we're on the top and the top had a crack in it and we're looking in it and we're like, "What's in there?" We like somehow shimmy through the windows and we get in there and there's a jug of water and a jug of gasoline. And there's like handprints of red. And it could have been paint or it could have been blood. But it's like smeared all over the walls. And we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" So we look out the front, that window that I just showed you, and we look down and we realize that there's like this open dirt pit down there. So I think we drank the water. I'm pretty sure we drank the water. I don't know why. But we grabbed the gasoline and we climbed back up and we're standing on the top. And there's a crack, like I said, a crack in the cement that you could see into the floor that we were just on. And we pour the gas into this fucking thing. And as we're standing on top of it, we light some like straw or hay and drop it in. And all you hear is poof! And this big fucking flame shoots out the window. And it's concrete or cement, one or the other. But so it wasn't wood, it wasn't going to burn. And it was contained in that area. And we just took off running again. The fire did go out. We just took off running again. And I remember we lost Sean, Joel, and Gibby. It was just me and Eugene again. And then Eugene, as we're running towards the river, because we think that's where everyone is, Eugene goes, "What is that? What is that?" And I'm like, I looked where he was looking, and he like described exactly what I saw when we were running prior to us going to this area. And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't see anything." Come to find out that all five of us at some point in the day saw this gargoyle-like creature running through the woods with us at one point in the day. And I don't know if it was a physical manifestation or if because we were on hallucinogens, our brains opened up a gateway for this thing to come through. But it's always kind of weirded me out how everything went down that day. And like every time we went to this location, shit was really weird. And I don't know, I have always felt like we opened something in our brains for this thing to come out and manifest like an inorganic being. You know what I mean? It was weird. Mer. What Arabic just saying? Just saying. That's a freaking Da Vinci. I've got logos channel t-shirts, like with the Dogman on them. I don't know. But does anybody believe that? Does anybody? My boy, Huntington, I tried to work it out with the school, finally moved her. Sonia, have you thought about homeschooling her? Homeschooling works good. Does anybody believe like in hallucinogenic opening gateways and shit? I mean, I have never like, I don't do drugs anymore. Obviously, I'm sober for almost 9 years, but like, I really to this day think that I don't think it was like, because we all saw the same thing. We all like a day later sat in Eugene's room and we all talked about the day and how weird it was that we found that fucking stone cement building that we've never seen again, and we never were able to find it again. That's the weirdest part. We went back out there like a couple days later to see how bad the damage was with the gas, and we never found it again. But we know it happened because we were all there, you know? And we talked about, and everyone described exactly like what it was, this like weird looking, it had large ears and it had these large teeth, top and bottom, that stuck out. It almost looked cartoonish. It was so weird. It was scary as shit. Robert, have a good night, buddy. Sonia, if you do look into homeschooling, Time for Learning is really good. They work with you, and you can actually do the curriculum. You can map it out for her, and it's amazing. It's an amazing format. Hey, Sonny, the Wandering Gypsy, how are you? Maybe Sonic Fox, maybe. I'm glad that you're here with us. All right. I don't like crawlers. I'm afraid of crawlers. Never want to see one. And I don't like these creatures that are called glimmer men. So that's what this one is. Aramic, I got another Mothman experience for you a little bit later. So you guys liked my drawings, didn't you? You fuckers. I know that's what you and freaking numbnuts are talking about, Aramic. They don't like you either. You know, they love the Dodgers, though, rockin' steady. This is hard for me to share because anytime I have tried to tell someone else about it, I get laughed at and accused of trying to pull their leg. I recently saw an article about a woman who was hunting and saw an invisible/cloaked creature that she described almost like the Predator from the movie of the same name. I read her story and saw a picture she took of the Predator. I am not dismissing her story, actually, quite the opposite, since I too have encountered something similar. And this is what prompted me to seek out and see if anyone has had an experience with something like this. When I was about 5 years old, I was playing by the edge of the woods behind my grandmother's house. I played there often, and my grandmother just kept an eye on me from the kitchen or living room because the house had huge windows that faced the woods. She would come out every once in a while just to see what I was up to. I was obsessed with digging in the dirt and collecting unusual rocks and arrowheads that littered the land where my grandma lived. I should mention this is in southern Illinois, not too far from the Cahokia Mounds. So finding arrowheads was actually not uncommon. Anyway, that day I remember picking out a spot to dig. I had been out there for quite a while because I remember I had a pretty decent sized hole going on. when something caught my eye up in the tree I was sitting next to. I almost don't know how to explain it, but it looked like almost a heat wave coming off the branch of the tree. It was fall. I remember this because I had my pink jacket on and remember thinking that my mom was going to be pissed because I had dirt around the bottom of the arms from digging. I also remember there being a lot of leaves on the ground. I'm staring at this heat wave and I realize that it is a human shape. So here I am, 5 years old, and wondering why there is an invisible man in the tree. I remember feeling scared but unaware what to do. Then it started to move, making a faint clicking sound. That was about the time that I decided that I was not supposed to be seeing this thing and hightailed it back to my grandma's house. My grandmother saw that I was shaken, and I remember telling her what I saw. I said I saw an angel in my 5-year-old mind. I didn't know what else it could have been. I had never heard of aliens or ghosts or monsters, so to me, it was an angel because that's what my little mind could think of. Fast forward to when I'm about 12 years old. By this time, the encounter was out of my mind. I loved watching action and sci-fi movies. My dad rented the movie Predator. I'm watching it with him, and the first time you see the Predator invisible/cloaked, I shit my pants. All the memories from that day digging in the dirt came flooding back. I even asked my dad if Predator was real or if he knew if anyone or any animal had the cloaking ability that I didn't know about. He told me that it was fake. It wasn't like it is today where you could just Google it. I had no access to the internet. So, again, I just put it out of my mind. Now, fast forward to 2004. I'm grown, 3 small kids of my own, and just went through a separation. I moved to the next town over to an apartment with my kids. These apartments are all one-level duplexes there are 5 buildings. I am at the very last apartment of the last building. The apartments are considered in town, but are on the outskirts. There is a deep ditch that runs behind the buildings with a chain link fence that separates the backyard from each. There are about 6 to 7 trees on our side of the fence. If you follow the ditch a little bit, you hit a small forest that eventually leads to the country with a larger forest and farmland. I'm a smoker, but would not smoke in the apartment because of my kids, so I often went to the back porch. One night, I was up late doing laundry and stuff after the kids went to bed. I decided to take a smoke break before I went to bed. I'm on the back porch, and I'm starting to hear this faint clicking sound. I immediately looked to the ditch because I had seen a groundhog out there a few days before and thought perhaps it was back. The yard is faintly lit from the outside light that is by the playground that's right by my back porch. I didn't turn on my porch light. I didn't normally if I was just going to have a quick smoke. I didn't see any groundhog or movement from that ditch, so I went back to smoking my cigarette. The faint clicking sound keeps happening, and the slight shift of movement makes me look up into the tree to my left. There it is, the same invisible thing I had seen when I was 5. It's like the distortion and a humanoid shape. It was crouched down on a branch with an arm out holding the trunk of the tree. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is happening. Has it come to kill me from seeing it all those years ago? All I could think about was my kids in the apartment sleeping. I ran in and slammed and locked the door. I ran into the kids' room to make sure their windows were locked and shut. Then I just turned out the lights in the living room and stared out the blinds at the tree to see if I could catch another glimpse. I sat there for a good 10 minutes and couldn't see a thing. I began to think that I was just tired and my mind was playing tricks on me. Just as I'm finally talking myself down, my neighbor's dog comes running across the yard and starts barking at the tree at that same branch that I had seen this creature in. That pretty much freaked me out because this dog is not a barker. I actually have never heard him bark at anything, even at the groundhog that's been hanging out in the ditch. This barking went on for a few minutes until I heard that the neighbor lady who owns the dog was calling him back. The dog reluctantly turned to go back home, stopping every few feet to look back at the branch of that tree until he was out of sight. I didn't sleep that night, and I've never seen it again. I don't know what to think. I am a grown woman. I have kids and a good career. I just want to know if anyone else has had an experience with this thing. I know what I saw, believe it or not, but thanks for letting me share. Hey, Stacy Lockett, how are you? I remember there was an experience with a hunter, another hunter he was out hunting and he was sitting, I think it was in Georgia. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went. I narrated it probably like 2 years ago. But he's sitting under a tree and he was relaxing. He was kind of out of shape. He said, I was kind of out of shape and I decided to sit by this tree. And he remembers kind of hearing some kind of noise, like skittering. And he looked up and he saw what this guy or this woman described exactly, like that heat wave. And he had kind of freaked him out. So he scoped it out, looked at it. He wasn't going to shoot it. He just wanted to look through his scope at this creature that was in this tree. For some reason, he did end up deciding to shoot at this thing. And at the end of the experience, he ends up hiding in some brush. And it can't get to him. It can't get into this hole that he's pushed himself into. But he's got his gun like forced out this hole. Like, and the thing ends up grabbing his gun and pulling the gun away from him. And he stays in there the whole night. He stays in this little hole the whole night. And when he comes out the next day or next morning, his gun was broken, not bent, but broken. And he never saw the thing after that again. MJ Bates, thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely, Catwoman. I shared an experience today where military was using portals. There was a lady in Russia, a Russian scientist back in the 80s that went and studied Bigfoots because she thought that they used portals or had the ability to cloak because people see them 1 minute and don't see them the next. And MJ, once again, thank you. I don't know if you heard me, but thank you very much. I appreciate the love. So the Russian government ends up getting wind of this scientist, like researching the ability of these Bigfoot cloaking. And Russia doesn't do what America does, to where the government would help with science and shit. The government just takes over her research. And from there on, like, I guess they had started to figure out how to use cloaking or portals and such. Very interesting. It was an article I read. I think it was in like Soldier of Fortune magazine or something. Yeah, they forced her to work for them for free. Absolutely, Addie Lee. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Mom talk. Nothing new. 100%. Definitely nothing new. I was talking about that freaking laywoman. My pecker is cloaking. What are you saying, Andy Davis? You fucking weirdo. No, Michael, I haven't. Do me a favor and send that to me if you find the video. I'd like to see it. It's kind of like when you look in the mirror, Andy, things appear larger. Ermac, thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. I gotta see. Did they get it? Please, please, please. Oh no. Flash in the pan. No. This one goes out to you, Ermac. Thank you so much, my friend. My husband and I were living at Beacon Hill Apartments off of Linden Road. Our apartment was ground level with only one juvenile 20-foot tree from the bedroom window. My husband had been working nights and I would be sleeping alone with the two cats. I would hear constantly between 3 and 4 in the morning a metallic tapping on the bedroom window. I couldn't sleep. I stayed up until 4:30 in the morning or so trying to make sure the tapping stopped. Then I started hearing bees in the bedroom vent. I had the maintenance check for bees and they said there was nothing in there. Sometime later on in the weekend, when my husband was home and able to sleep with me, I woke up and noticed what appeared to be a large upside-down bat with red eyes. I woke him up and told him to take a look. He said he didn't see anything, although my husband did hear the bees in the vent and the tapping in the bedroom window. Sometime later in the weekend, when my husband was home and able to sleep, I woke up, noticed why did it repeat itself? Woke him up to take a look. He didn't see anything. We had just watched the 2024 Mothman episode, which noted Rockford, Illinois. There were definitely negative vibes. I grew up in a small town here in Illinois, and my husband was from Illinois as well. I've ruled out a person, foliage, trash, animals. The huge bat in my doorway was a paranormal being. I figure if there are larger winged humanoid creatures, there are probably smaller ones. I only saw it one time, thankfully. I blinked and rubbed my eyes to make sure I wasn't seeing it before I woke him up. I covered my head and told myself it was nothing that I'd seen. I don't know why it repeated itself. July 30th, Chicago. My boyfriend and I were walking home from our late night rendezvous to Burger King. It was around 11:30, pretty dark outside. We were walking behind the building in an alleyway that goes from Warner Ave to Belpine Ave here in Warren Garden Park, just chatting and goofing around, when my boyfriend stopped abruptly. It took me about 3 steps to notice he had stopped, so I turned around and looked at him while he whispered to look up the alley. I turned back around and my eyes instantly set on a slender, winged humanoid figure levitating roughly 15 feet off the ground. I take a few steps closer to the figure because for a moment I think I'm hallucinating. As I walk toward it, it literally disappears and dissipates into thin air. Mind you, the entire interaction with this creature lasted 25 seconds tops. From the moment my boyfriend stopped me walking toward it and it disappeared. We were all so freaked out still days later. We didn't know what to think it was until we watched an episode of some cryptid show about the Mothman, and that's what we think we saw. I gotta find this one experience. I got a good one. All right, this one's fucking creepy. Ugh. 5 Guys have priced me out of being a customer. I have never been to Five Guys. Sounds more like an Oswang. The Oswang, though, separates, Ermac. It separates and then hunts for babies. I don't like the Oswang. What's up, 5 Rings? 5 Rings! Giant Slayer, what's going on, brother? I am a Culver's guy. Well, I wish we had In-N-Out. I want to try In-N-Out. But I love White Castle. White Castle is the shit. Oh, there we go. There we go. That was better. Is anyone from Texas? Anyone from Texas here tonight? All right. James, this one's from Texas for you. Kendra, Darren K. All right, here we go. Texas. 2010. Gentleman was mending fences one evening with his associate near Waxahachie, Texas. I think I said that right. The associate got called away, so he decided to stay and finish. As he worked, he noticed a large black creature running on all fours across the pasture, some 100 to 150 yards away. He got on his ATV and headed to where he had seen it. Upon arriving at the spot, Richard, thank you. Hang on, I'll start this over. I gotta see. I'm keeping my finger. Did I say it right, Darren K? Waxahachie? Oh my God, come on, no. Fuck! All right, I gotta figure out how to say this goddamn word. Hang on 1 second. I gotta figure out how to say it. Pronounce Waxahachie. Waxahachie. All right, here we go, kids. 2010. A witness was mending a fence one evening with his associate near Waxahachie, Texas. His associate got called away, so he decided to stay and finish. As he worked, he noticed a large black creature running on all fours across the pasture, some 100 to 150 yards away. He got on his ATV and headed to where it had been last seen. Upon arriving at the spot, he saw it through the binoculars. He noted that it looked like a bear, but with notably elongated arms and limbs. As he stared at it, the creature stood on its hind legs and swayed side to side. As it did, it looked directly at him, who became spooked. The creature was man-like and also bear-like and also strangely resembled a werewolf. I'm telling you, it was the weirdest thing, he states. Eventually, the creature began running on two legs directly at him, and he left the area. The witness discovered that the son of the man who owned the ranch, for which the witness was employed, had a run-in with this strange creature on the property that frightened him so badly he would not venture out into the pastures anymore. There had been a splat of cattle deaths as well. Another woman who lived on the property had been out riding one evening when her horse became spooked and bucked her off. She looked to find out what frightened the animal and observed two creatures on the other side of the fence. They stood 6.5 feet tall. The shoulders, arms, and legs were man-like, yet the head was bear-like with a rounded snout. She described it as a mixture of a man and a bear. As she lay there, the two creatures continued to stare at her. Eventually, a truck driven by a ranch hand drove up, and the creatures dropped on all fours and ran off. The original witness would have another encounter with the creature one evening. It resulted in him and some other men shooting at it. It merely twitched and ran off. The witness's girlfriend was 11 years old, had been driving in a car with her father in Comanche, Texas, when they ran into a strange creature. They exited the vehicle and looked at it. It was injured but still alive. She noted that it was a mix of bear and man, and it had human-like eyes. The father and daughter retreated to the car. Man, pig bear, Stacy Lockett. Darren, you know where that is, bro? Aramic, holy shit. Thank you so much. Dude, Darren K, email me. I want to talk to you if you don't mind. Aramic, man, thank you. You and Lindman, thank you guys tonight. Actually, thank everybody who has blessed the channel every live stream. You guys are fucking too kind to me. You really are. Do me a favor and send me an email, will you, Darren? Because I'd like to just talk to you, please. Yeah, Firestar. It just randomly picks people. Thanks, Patrice. Patty, thank you so much. I know, Lucas Williams. My daughter Abby said that. She goes, "You look better with the stubble instead of the beard." The nurse on tonight are annoying. Larry, I fucking love you, brother. Thank you, James. I think I might have a couple little people story. Mountain Monsters. That was a pretty cool, like fictional TV show. I like that one too. I do miss my beard though. But I got to keep it shaved until after the 5th. So my face will be naked. Like I'll grow it back. Actually, on the 20th, I got an appointment for my sedation, which I'll have to keep it shaved, and then I might grow it until the 5th of December, and then have to shave it again. It sucks. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see what I got. Oh my God, Stacy Lockett. I do have one from Arizona. Aramic, I got you covered with another Mothman encounter right after this. All right. 2017, my friends and I went camping in Arizona near Sedona at the end of March. We had fallen asleep. I was just like jolted awake, and my response was to immediately pop up and look at my surroundings. That's when I saw it standing 50 feet from our sleeping bags. It was humanoid, skinny, hairless, and pale in color. At first, we were just looking at each other, and it was still for probably a good 30 seconds. Then it started moving in a weird way. My friends were still asleep at this point. Then I start tapping my friend, trying to wake her up. Right about that time, one of the guys woke up and jolted up like I did, just looking straight ahead. And he looked for a second and went, "Do you see that?" The other guy woke up, and my friend I was tapping woke up. Everyone was looking. We were like, "What is it?" We'd have to be crazy. Then it quickly moved away behind a rise. So we just sat there for a minute talking about what we had seen. We looked at our phones, which started out fully charged, to see the time, and 2 of our phones were dead. Mine had like 10% battery charge left, which we all thought was weird. The other phones were low as well. We all figured it had something to do with the weird stuff that happens around Sedona, possibly vortexes or whatever. I felt scared because what I had seen was so odd and unexpected, but I don't know that I felt threatened by it either. It was more just like minding your own business, then suddenly you see a giant spider or snake or something. But after a few minutes, we start hearing coyote-like sounds all around us. It was like a large pack of coyote had surrounded us in all directions. It was so weird. That's when we threw all our stuff in the back of the truck and quickly got the hell out of there. It never really made sense of what we saw. And at the time, I didn't know anything about things like crawlers or other entities. So I really didn't know what to think. It has always been enjoyable camping in the desert, but now I am frightened to do so, even with several friends going along. Andy's crashing. Good night, Andy Davis. Love you, brother. $20 is $20. That was good. I'm fucking getting good. I remember I used to just blow it like boom. Now I can play songs. The Hebrew horn and Jeff Nadalny. What's outside my window? A police car that's empty in a road. Going to be a slip and slide. The ladies are around. Oh, shit. Richard Minnick, thank you so much. Did they get it? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No. It made you look. Richard, thank you. Thank everybody. I really, Lindman, everybody who has blessed this channel. You guys are honestly too fucking kind to me. Hang on, I gotta fucking shake my nuts. Oh. There we go. Let me see. Yes, I did, Darren. So I have, this is pretty cool. I was talking to a guy today and he was cashing me out. He was actually cashing me out for my Japanese Diet Coke. And he said, what he said, what do you do for a living? And I said, I don't do anything. I talk on YouTube. And I said, I was like, where are you from? I forget how the conversation started, but he's from Egypt, right? And I said, dude, have you seen the pyramids? And he goes, from where my house is, you can see the pyramids. And he showed me some pictures. And I said, do you have any stories about jinn and other things like that? And I showed him my friend's YouTube channel, The Mysteries of the Middle East. And he said, yes, I do. And I said, would you mind if I interviewed you sometime and you shared some paranormal stuff that happens in Egypt? And he said, absolutely. So sometime after my surgery, I'm gonna interview this guy to see what's going on, in Egypt, and I'm very freaking stoked about that. Do you know the police are monitoring you? Yes, Shannon. I've known they've been monitoring me since Victor. Yep. Crawlers are aggressive. Crawlers are pretty fucking scary. I don't like crawlers. But yeah, I'm really stoked about this Egypt thing. Because like the pictures he showed me, like I cannot fathom how awesome it would be to be in the presence of the pyramids. Like they are something so amazing to behold. Like I love looking at them online and like in magazines and shit, but to see them in real life must be just like mind blowing. Yeah. McCabe, absolutely. Definitely a bucket list. George Coker. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, Jeannie. He's a really good friend. We're actually going to do a show together sometime soon when we can get. I helped him with one of his shows, like a couple. Like I gave him some ideas on some things that he wanted to do. He's a very nice person. Like I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think I have met more good people since I started my YouTube channel than bad people, which is amazing. All right, I'm looking for a little gnome, but I'm gonna do a flying cryptid for Aramic, and I gotta figure out something to do for. What you put out comes right back to you. Absolutely, Richard. Richard, what kind of experience would you like to hear? I said what I was about to say about Victor. I just said they've been monitoring me since Victor. All right. Crawlers are my favorite cuddlers. I think I thought I had Aramic wants Jeff on his team playing Pictionary. I miss him dearly. I really thought I had. Is this fucking encounter this big? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that one is that big. I forgot. All right, there's one. There's two. All right, I guess I don't have another flying one, Aramic. I apologize. So yeah, Milo, there's a lot of people sub to him. He's got like 300,000 subscribers. I can only dream of being that big someday. I don't think I'll ever get that big. I think like, I don't know. I'll probably die before I fucking get that big. Maybe. I don't make stories up, Catwoman. I'm not making one up. I'm not a creepy pasta channel. That's why you don't hear people calling rakes the crawler a rake. Aramic, you're fucking amazing. But all right, this one goes out to everybody that's fucking here right now because I love you all. This happened to me when I was 13 years old. I went to Mexico to visit my grandparents with my two brothers for the summer. It was good over in Mexico. We visited many places like the Aztec ruins and the tropical waters. My grandma took me to a little house that she grew up in when she was a child. It was pretty old. Felt like it would collapse at any moment. We stayed overnight in a sweet cabin. We set up a campfire and ate some s'mores. My grandparents and my brothers were telling some Mexican urban legends. They mentioned La Llorona, El Cocoa, and the La Cuza. They mentioned El Chupacabra. My parents have always told us about El Chupacabra since I was 6. My brothers were trying to scare me, and they did a pretty good job. It was bedtime. We went to sleep and dozed off. I woke in the middle of the night for no reason. I heard a strange noise outside, and I stupidly looked out the window. I couldn't remember much, but I saw a weird, skinny, hairless creature standing outside. I freaked out and hid under the blankets. I heard scratching noises all night and couldn't sleep. When it was morning, I woke up and went outside. I went to the tree and saw claw marks scratched upon it. My brothers saw that as well. My brother smelled something horrible, and we checked it out. We found a dead deer with puncture wounds in its stomach. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but my brothers knew what was going on. It was the El Chupacabra. We came across another carcass, and it had the same 2 puncture marks in its stomach. My brothers were really creeped out, and we decided to get the hell out of there. We didn't tell our grandparents and acted like it never happened. 3 years passed now. I'm 16. I completely forgot about this incident, and I'm living a normal life. My mom told us we were going to visit my grandparents again with my cousin. I was happy to see them after 3 years. We arrived as normal. We visited Cancun, Mexico City. We went to the same cabin I went to 3 years ago. I started getting back memories of the El Chupacabra incident in the back of my head. It was nighttime, so I decided to go to bed. While asleep, I woke up to scratching sound and knew what it was. I looked out the window and this time saw nothing. I blinked many times. I gave up and decided to go back to bed. I was awoken another time by twigs snapping outside. It was very loud, almost as if I had headphones on. I looked and I saw a creature that was hairless and skinny. The creature quickly ran until it was sunrise. The sun was rising and I noticed that my window had claw marks. I had some delicious breakfast and went outside. I went outside and saw broken twigs and sticks. Oddly, there were no footprints, but I remember to the tree I saw 3 years ago, and there were more claw marks. I told my brothers and my cousin who saw it as well. We were all spooked out, and we saw a carcass of a deer that had 2 puncture wounds in its stomach. My cousin was dumb and went into the forest alone with a blade. It took 30 minutes for him to return. His face looked like he had witnessed somebody being shot. He was pale as a ghost and looked scared. What happened? I asked. He lifted up his arm and revealed a huge claw mark. He also told me he also had 2 red dots on his back, resembling a puncture wound from the deer. To this day, my cousin won't tell us what he saw or what happened when he went into the woods. I'm just glad he returned alive. I'm not planning to go back to Mexico to see my grandparents ever. To this day, I sometimes still hear scratching and claw marks that I've heard when I encountered that chupacabra that night. I was just glad that none of us became its next dinner. So, the coolest thing about the legend of the chupacabra, and I think I figured it out. So, like, not figured it out, but the legend. So, the Mexican or Central or Southern American El Chupacabra is a pale, green-like reptilian creature. Then, when we have the American Chupacabra, we don't add the L, and that's the canine-looking one. And Forrest Gallant, who is a brilliant fucking man, he believes that the Chupacabra, the canine-like one, was actually from in 1930 or 1903. A boat had crashed off the coast of North Carolina with 2 breeding pairs of thylacine on them before they disappeared for good. And he thinks through land and weather, like climate changing and stuff like that, that these creatures actually changed, became skinnier, lost hair, became more aggressive. If you ever like hear Forrest talk about it, if you know who Forrest is, he talks about Chupacabra with Joe Rogan on one of his shows, and it's really amazing. Yeah, I know what it is. Thank you, Sovereign. I know what it is. I just didn't know how to pronounce it, but thank you. Firestar, where are you getting these weird statements? Is Jesus really scary for you guys? And why aren't anyone afraid to die? The Chupacabra, El Chupacabra, looks like Gollum. You're right. Boom! Have a good night. Thank you for spending time with us, my friend. Yeah, we all are energy. We all are energy. Anyway, Richard. And Jesus is my savior. Jesus took my wheel. Well, thank you, Darren K. Aramik looks like Gollum. Have pity. I have pity for you, my brother. I have pity. Oh my God. You're too funny. All right. Last encounter of the night. I can't do a 3-hour show tonight. We do have a nice tribe here. You're right, Richard. Catwoman, I do what I want. I don't need people like you telling me what to do. Like, I'm not being rude, but I don't like he already knows that I love him and that I turn my life over to him. I don't need a random person that I don't know saying that don't take his name in vain, Karen. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. Like, really. I'm a 62-year-old man who has seen a lot of things in my life. My mother, my grandmother were Cree. My mother told me a story from her grandmother about a Wendigo and how it related to our people. She would always warn me to beware of it. I joined the Canadian Armed Forces when I came of age. My folks drove me to the gate to walk into my new life. My mom told me, I am proud of you, my son. I am sure you will do well. Just be careful when you go out into the wild. After basic training, I was sent on a tradesman course and then to my first post. I was assigned to the Special Service Force in Ontario as a communication specialist, since my job included fixing telecommunication equipment. I had a top secret security clearance. We trained hard when I was there, and I was ready to go head to head with whatever enemy I would encounter in my missions. One day in December, we were transported via helicopter on a mountain close to Algonquin Provincial Park for a week of winter warfare courses. During this week of training, we each had to do guard duty at night. On one of those nights, it was around 2 in the morning, I started hearing strange voices down the mountain. The night, the temperature was around minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. At first, I checked to see if anyone was sleeping in their tents. They were all accounted for. I scanned the area to see if I could locate somebody. There was nobody there, at least nobody that I could see using my military-issued flashlight. I continued hearing those voices for a while, so I decided to call out to whoever was there. Hello, who goes there? You're on Canadian Armed Force Base. Identify yourself. No answer. I kept looking for whatever might be there, but I was still hearing voices that sounded Asian. Some came from the right and others came from the left. They seemed like they were having some kind of conversation. Since it was training and learning exercise, we had no ammo in our weapons. Not knowing what to expect, I did the second best thing to do. I fixed a bayonet and kept walking around camp. The voices stopped after a while. I was wondering who in their right mind would hike into the wilderness for at least 20 miles in such miserable weather to pull a prank on soldiers. That week, they closed down the base 2 times because it was cold. Of course, we stayed on the mountaintop as part of training. My replacement came after a while, and when he showed up, the first thing he asked me was what I was doing with a bayonet and my weapon. I did not want to say I was hearing voices down below us. I told him that it was cold, that I decided to do some drill movements to warm myself up. I don't know if he believed me. The next month, there was a huge military exercise in Wainwright, Alberta. The entire brigade ended up there. One day, I was going on a call with my partner to do a repair on a piece of equipment that was out in the middle of nowhere. We had been driving for like 45 minutes in deep snow, and I couldn't find the equipment. Arabic, thank you so much. I was driving and decided to stop and check our location and find our target. My partner was looking at a topographical map while I was trying to see if I could locate a reference point. On our right, there was a forested area with pine and underbrush. On the left, there was an open field. At about 100 feet from the tree line at my 10 o'clock position, there was a large white-tailed buck foraging in the snow. The deer was facing us and looked up to our direction, then out to nowhere. A huge creature blasted out of the tree line and aimed directly toward the grazing deer. It took less time for this beast to cover the approximate 100 feet of the deer than it took me to tell my partner to look. This creature grabbed the deer by its head. It was taller than the deer by a good 2, maybe 3 feet. It was reddish brown in color with wide shoulders. The head was pointed and was set on shoulders with no neck. The arms were long and very muscled. The legs were like 55-gallon drums, and the body was covered in long hair. I wish I had more time to look at it and get more details, but everything went so fast. As soon as the beast reached the deer, it placed one hand on the top of its head and the other on the back of its neck, then twisted it like a rag doll. Without even stopping, it headed back into the woods with the deer over its shoulder. I put the truck in gear and said, "Let's get out of here." My partner managed to find the trail leading to our destination, and we found the equipment. When we made our way back to the bivouac area, my sergeant asked me if everything went okay. I told him I didn't know what we saw on our way to the other location, but it was pretty freaky. He looked at me and said that he didn't want to hear about it, so I kept it to myself and walked away. As time went on, and as I grew older, I realized that I had witnessed a Sasquatch harvesting the deer. I had a nice career in the Army. I did missions and went on several UN peacekeeping missions throughout the world. I saw lots of strange animals and witnessed many unusual situations, but that beast in Alberta is the one I will never forget. All right, guys. I love you all. I want to thank all of you guys who blessed the channel tonight. Thank you so much. It was just, you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. I don't know. I didn't block Firestar. Take care. Edna, you too. Jessica. James. Darren, thank you for emailing me. I can't wait to talk to you about that Texas one. He blocked the Sunmaster. Go screw your ass somewhere. All right. But I'm kind, so I'll be silent. You're so weird, dude. You're such a tar hole. Like, Jesus is my savior. I said Jesus Christ in vain. Like, I actually know a priest that says it in vain. So, God, I know a priest that drinks beer with my dad on a daily basis. God still loves me either way. Anyway, I love you all. And thank you so much. And I'll see you next Saturday. And if I offended anybody, I'm not sorry. No, I am. I'm very sorry. But I love you all. Nightmare, Nicola. Good seeing you, buddy. RH. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me, though. I appreciate it. Dude, I love when people get butt hurt. Like, everybody knows that I fucking... I didn't mean to like come at you, Catwoman. I just like literally like I turned my life over to Jesus and I believe Jesus forgives. So, and I'm an adult and I like to swear, but I love you all. I love you all. And I don't want to end this, but I don't have any more fucking encounters. No, I do. Holy shit. I got subscriber encounters. All right, here we go. All right, I guess we're going to stay for a little bit. Fuck it. I have not read through these, so I don't know. These are subscriber encounters. I have not read through these yet. I literally just printed these out a couple days ago. So, hey, Jeff, I'm a subscriber of yours on YouTube. I've had an experience with what I believe was a Dogman. I didn't see this deep, awful howl. Here's what happened. First off, my buddy and I live right out of city limits, and we're neighbors. The farmlands are all around and woods. My family moved there when I was in 5th grade. I live in the area until I graduated, and same with my best friend. We knew what coyotes sounded like. At the time we were in high school. Richard, thank you so much. At the time we were in high school, probably sophomore year. One Friday, I stayed the night at my friend's house who lived right down the road. I don't remember the time, but it was already dark, so I decided to walk up to the golf course and get a soda from the vending machine. The golf course was like 5 to 10 minute walk from his house. The road we were walking on had woods on one side of it and ran all the way down to the house. It was cool and a quiet night. There weren't any bugs chirping. We started our walk. We had our walking sticks with us that we had made. We were maybe 20 yards away from one of my buddy's sheds when we heard a cat in distress in the tree line. Then within seconds, we heard coyotes on the other side of the tree line barking, yipping, and howling. My friend and I looked at each other. We're like, what the heck? I told my buddy, I'm to howl back. So I decided to try and sound like a wolf. I was loud, and from deep in the gut, I let it out. Within seconds, we heard crashing through the tree limbs, breaking and snapping. We both took off for his shed. We made it there and got inside and turned on the outside light. And we looked out, and nothing came. We waited for a few minutes before leaving. We decided to go and take the truck up to get the sodas. We tossed our walking sticks in the back of the truck and took off to the golf course. When we got to the golf course, I drove around the parking lot with my brights on, scanning the area, and saw nothing. So I left the truck running while we got out and got our sodas. We each stood guard while each one of us got our sodas. We jumped back in the truck and drove back to my buddy's house. We got back and got out of the truck, grabbed our sticks, and then we walked to his porch and sat down. Then it happened. A deep howl rang out from the other side of his house. My hair stood on end. A chill went up my spine and got goosebumps. We jumped to our feet, grabbing our walking sticks, and got into a defensive position and froze. We watched, waited, and listened. There was nothing. After a while, we got the courage to go to the other side of the house and check it out, and there was nothing. We finally called it a night and went to bed. The next day, we got up and went out to where we heard the howl and looking for prints, but found nothing. We even searched the woods. That was the only incident. Never heard it again. That was the first time we ever heard that. We have always explored the woods, all the ones that were in the area, and never experienced anything like it. We really couldn't do research on YouTube, wasn't big at the time, and there were no smartphones. So we went on with our lives. A few months later, I found Monster Quest on DirecTV, and they were investigating Bigfoot. And there was a sound it made that was a little similar to what we heard, but not quite. I started thinking about that night, started to watch more and more. Nothing there was right. I wanted to watch, but never could find it. It was the one about werewolves. Well, life went on. I went to college, met my wife, got married. One day, I turned on the TV and Monster Quest was on, and it was the one about werewolves. Nothing really there. So after that, I look up werewolves and real Dogman stuff came on, and I became intrigued. My wife's parents were moving to Michigan, so I did more research and found out Michigan was a hot spot for Dogman. I came across your channel and decided that I would share this with you and your subscribers. Thanks, Jeff. Have a great night. Sorry I left out the location. This took place in Lincoln, Kansas. I don't live there anymore. I'm in southern Indiana now, 2 hours from the LBL. I haven't been there yet. Well, thank you, NP. Appreciate that. There we go. That was a quick one. Terry Marshall, how are you? Monster Quest? Monster Quest never finds anything. The camera was. I threw rocks at a hunched down dog looking creature stalking me several years ago. It never backed off. It was beefy, looked like a coyote, maybe, or Dogman. How did that end, Joe? Did you walk away, or did it walk away? What happened? Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you. Yeah, like those shows like Bigfoot, what is that? The Bigfoot people that did their shit in my backyard up here in Whitehall. Moneymaker. How do you trust somebody with that last name? Moneymaker. I walked away. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you were able to walk away. Even if it wasn't a dog, man, you know what I mean? Like it could have been a fucking wolf or something and bit you, or even worse, like mauled you. Dude, like that name is like, how do you like, even if that's a fake name or if it is his real name, like I would just change it to like Dick Weasel. I don't know, like something like random, like Turner, something, not Moneymaker. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like a Black Crow song. WLLC. Jeff, I've been listening to your YouTube channel for about a month now. It's very interesting. I have an experience to share with you that happened. I have an experience to share with you that I had in the late 60s. But first, I want to ask your opinion of why Dogman encounters seem to be a fairly new thing. No. Or is it an old subject? Anyhow, the encounter I had was with a Bigfoot in 69 or 70. I can't remember the exact year. I was 5 or 6. Anyhow, me and my dad and brother and sisters and my dad's friend Danny went camping in the White Mountains of Arizona. There you go, Stacy Lockett, another one. I remember when we were getting close to the campsite, I saw a small ape or monkey or similar animal in a tree very close to the path we were driving on. I didn't think much about it, but the next day after we were settled into camp, I was standing near our camping trailer and I remember hearing someone yelling something. And I looked and saw a creature about 7 to 8 feet tall, covered in long gray and white hair, walking toward our camp on the road. It was about 100 yards away, I'm guessing. And about the same time, my sister or dad picked me up and carried me into the camper trailer. But while I was being carried, I remember seeing my dad's friend Danny walking toward the creature with a shotgun in his hand. I don't remember much after that except having to wait in the camper for a while, sleeping and maybe having breakfast before we left the next morning. My dad's friend drove home separately, and I remember hearing some bad news a couple of days after we got home that my dad's friend Danny was in a fatal car crash on the way home from our camping trip. I thought about this experience several times after and realized that smaller creature I saw in the trees possibly could have been a juvenile Bigfoot. And a few times over the years, I've mentioned this camping trip to my dad, and he doesn't want to talk about it. Until the last few years, he has acknowledged it and has said he does remember the trip and the creature that walked into our camp, but he does not want to talk about it. That's my only experience that I've ever had. Have a great day. P.S. I live in Idaho, not far from Crater of the Moon lava craters. I wonder if his dad's friend got in an accident like close to the where this Bigfoot was seen. "17 years, but I'm moving back to the US." Like the second I read that, I was like, I wonder if. Eremic, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Eremic, I just made you a managing moderator. So thank you for everything, brother. I know, Flash in a Pan. Eremic is now a mod. Dude, this week, either this week or next week, I'm redoing my studio downstairs, and I'm gonna hang all those pictures that you sent me, Eremic. Yeah, Jared, yes. Very true. Very true. The last thing you think of is a camera. Very, very true. People really don't think that either. You know, they don't like, why didn't you take a picture? Like, okay, the day that I was where Tom Mezek disappeared, and I was sitting on those rocks, and I'm sitting here like this. What's up, Ryan Mons? How are you? I saw you out of the corner of my eye, brother. Out of the corner of the eye. But anyway, when whatever that was blasted through the trees, I literally grabbed my camera in my bag, and I didn't even pan. I could have panned, but I didn't, and I just started running down the mountain. The only thing I thought of was getting the fuck out of there, because whatever it was that blew through those trees was huge. I caught it. I caught the audio of it, but I didn't catch the physical. I wish I had caught the physical. Good night, George. All right. Last encounter of the night. Once again, I have not read any of these encounters, so I don't know. I don't know. This is interesting. This one has caught my eye. What kind of surgery? I don't want to talk about it right yet. All right. Actually, I got two more. We'll do two more. Darren K, I got your email right here, brother. Holy shit. I got your email right here. All right. So these two, this one caught me. Nephilim was the heading. What would the shortest Dogman height be on all fours? Like 3 feet, somewhere around there. Would a baby hunt alone? It wouldn't be a baby. It would probably be a juvenile to hunt alone. Mert, my prayers go out to you, brother. My prayers go out to you. 100%. Aramic, brother, you're my brother. You have become like I can't help but say this every fucking live stream. Me and Aramic literally butted heads for the first 2 live streams. Literally. And like Aramic is my brother. Like I don't even know him, but I consider him like a good friend. Mert, my prayers go out to you, and I hope they get everything taken care of for you. I really do. Winter Sky, could you send me that encounter? I'd love to hear it. Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, like Aramic, I don't even know. Like, I think Aramic was drunk. I think he was drunk the first couple of nights. And we just like literally busted fucking heads, like bop, bop, bop. It was crazy. Jeannie, I hope that you do. I hope you do. You know it, brother. You know that. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just tell you guys what the surgery is going to be. I'm all right. So, all right. Everybody knows that the scariest part of the surgery is the amount of pain that I'm going to be in after. And I can't take pain medication because of my addiction. And I'm almost 9 years sober. In like 6 months, I'll be 9 years sober. When about 10 years ago, when I got diagnosed with my terminal illness and they put me on a bunch of medicine, the medicine started to like remove enamel on my teeth. And I had a dentist that decided the best thing to do was to do veneers, but he didn't do the right veneers. He ground my teeth to these little fucking tips and then constructed these like veneers out of, they weren't veneer material. They talk about it on YouTube sometimes, how only like the shittiest dentists do this. So I have like really bad fucking teeth because this asshole fucked my mouth up. And because he wore them down and ground them down to like literally that, they look like the tip of my pen. The root is like infected. So I'm on 4 500 milligram amoxicillins until December 5th. They're going to take all 30 of my teeth out, and then they're going to put 10 anchor bolts on the top and 10 in the bottom, and then put in the implants. And then in 3 months after my jawbone heals, they're going to give me my zirconian ones. And because it's considered a cosmetic surgery, but it's not, because I have an infection. And my dad helped me get a loan to get this done because I don't want to have fucking shitty teeth and dentures. So I'm getting the implants. I had to take a $50,000 loan out to get this surgery, but it's going to be worth it because I won't have an infection in my mouth and I will feel like good about my appearance. So that's the surgery I'm having. I'm not going to be able to do a live stream because I'm probably not going to be able to talk after. But the scariest part of it is they're going to remove 30 teeth in one day and then drill into my jaw 10 times up here and 10 times down here and put little fucking screw things in it. Blair Mountain, West Virginia. Damn, that name just sounds creepy. Yeah, they are very expensive. But I said to I was like, I don't need to get this surgery, to my dad. And like, me and my dad are really close. Obviously, like, I fucking love the guy. He's my dad, and he's like, no, we'll get the loan. We'll put it in my name and you just make the payments. So for 10 years of my life after this, I'm going to be making payments. Mert, I'm going to pray for you, brother. I am going to pray for you hardcore. Linman, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really scared because I don't know how the pain's going to be. You know, I've talked to, I'm not embarrassed of my sobriety at all. I'm not, like, I will openly discuss it because I don't give a shit. I don't care what people think. I know that my life is better being sober. And I'm on the Suboxone program. I'll probably be on Suboxone for the rest of my life because I used heroin and opiates since I was 17 years old until I was almost 40. And, you know, so I said to my doctor, you know, Suboxone is used as a pain reliever. So I'll just take my Suboxone and Tylenol. And he's like, if you are in more pain, though, call me and we'll do Novocaine in your mouth. And I'm like, okay. Jared, 100%. And Mert, you're in my prayers 100%, brother. You are in my prayers. That is scary. I became a workaholic too, brother. 59th. Like, I fucking love my channel. Yeah, they're almost like 3D ED. That sounded really weird. Almost like 3D ED. The guy literally, yeah, it is a miracle drug, Tina. It really is a miracle drug. Suboxone is a miracle drug. It really, like, Ruth, no, I'm not ashamed at all. I don't care what people think. My mom is gonna probably take care of me because I'm a mama's boy. No, I have my 17-year-old daughter and my almost 20-year-old daughter and my mom. So pity, much love, brother. Dude, I loved pain. I loved fucking Percocets too, dude. Like, I was like, I'm just petrified of it now. Ermic, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. All right, so now that I shared the surgery thing, I'm gonna go back to encounters. But I'm just very embarrassed about it. Like, I'm doing methadone. I did methadone, Terry, when I was getting clean for the first part. Morphine was my favorite. Dude, I loved morphine too. Oh my God. It is great. I'm blessed to have my parents. Yes, Tina. I really, I'm not ignoring. I'm just reading pain blocker. Oh, no shit. I will ask them because Wednesday I go for my sedation appointment. 100%, Richard. In Maine, in Bar Harbor, my great grandfather was a bootlegger, and otherwise my family would never be able to afford a house in Bar Harbor. But they grow poppy out there. Like, it grows like wild out there. Real poppy, like Afghan poppy. And we figured out a way of harvesting that shit with tin foil. We'd put tin foil under it and slice it and capture the fucking goodness. We were little assholes. Thank you, Tina. Was it painful, John Sumner? IV Toradol before you leave. Ibuprofen, good for half-life. Is Toradol's an opiate, though, right? Or no? No, it's not. IV. Okay. Absolutely, Richard. Absolutely. 100%, brother. All right. These are the two subscriber experiences that caught me that I wanted to share with you guys. So this one starts off with Nephilim. Jeff, my name is, I'll just say CJ. I lived in Mount Shasta 9 years now. I'm 4 minutes and 19 seconds into your video on YouTube with 85,000 views. Impressive, 6 days ago. I'm not sure why you popped into my algorithm, but my reason I stopped the vid and emailed you this is I called him the Watcher, and he is a Nephilim, and I know exactly where it resides. He is terrifying, and I couldn't see him in the daytime, but I could feel him. Most definitely could see him at night because he would follow me just outside the tree line, and I was on pavement walking one step to my fore. I did this every day for about a whole summer I was there. On the third day, I got so sick of being scared of him, I yelled, "If you're going to do something, do it now." Never once does he. Always in the same exact spot for 350 yards, he'd walk beside me at night, just staring down at me with his big orange eyes. On full moons, I could make out his long red hair or red beard. He never did anything but watch me. Why do I call him the Watcher? Now I found out of interest in weird, scary energy in the daytime, so I went back at night to the same area, and hence what I just told you happened. I don't have the ability to walk anymore, but I know the exact elevation. I think he knew somehow that I mean a great deal to our Creator and that I interested him, and that's why he showed himself. I know his sins against God after God strictly told them not to, why God made place for the fallen ones who took the third cerebellum with them. Soon as it looks, John wrote in the final book prophesizing what's going on in the current times. So that's how I know what is written will soon happen. God bless you, Jeff. I wish you well. 85,000 views in 6 days is pretty good, but I felt the oversell to start a bit much. Now I'll finish listening to the Marines. So he literally verified the Shasta experience with the Marines because he wasn't a subscriber. The guy just found my channel by algorithm and like had an experience in that same area, which blew me away. Okay, Tordal is a nascent. Okay, all right. Yeah, Jared, yes. I'm more fascinated. Like, I am so fascinated with like that story that Kirk guy had with the Mount Shasta, seeing the fucking Nephilim there, and the how he like just went into the mountain, like was pulled into it by these alien like creatures. Like, that's terrifying. We already know there's a dumb there. Like, fucking terrifying. Anyway, this is going to be the last encounter of the night because we're 3 hours in. And I did a 3 hour because I fucking love you guys. I really do. I love our live streams and I love hanging out with you guys. Jeff, let me first start off by saying I listened to your program on my 1 hour commute to work, which I was ironically listening to when this incident happened. Richard, thank you so much. I hope so. I really do. When I do hit 100,000, I'm going to have a live stream. I don't care what day it is. I'm going to have a live stream and do like a 5 hour live stream. The morning this happened, it was late summer, early fall, 2023. I drove this road every morning, Highway 124 between McKenzie and Greenfield in West Tennessee. It's dark out as I normally take this road at 4:30 in the morning. As I said before, it takes me an hour to get to work, so I set one of your videos up and started listening on my way to work. I'm not in any particular rush to get to work, as I left early enough to pay attention to what I'm doing as I'm driving this road. I'm pretty cautious and pay quite good attention to wildlife as I'm going down the road, since it is heavily wooded and also has lots of fields, so deer, raccoon, and other small game are prevalent as I'm driving down this stretch of road. I am a little over a half an hour into my drive when, from my driver's side, I see a large black mass dart out in front of me. When I say dart, I mean this thing was fast, and I just happened to catch a glimpse of it before I ran it completely over. It was on all fours. It had a pointed snout, from what I remember. Its ears were on the top of its head. The body, I would probably say, was close to 6.5 feet long. The tail, a typical bushy tail that was sticking straight out as it was running. I was even there, and when I did hit it, it was such an impact that when I ran over it, my driver's side was airborne for a split second. I first thought big raccoon, but then I started to think that raccoons don't run that fast or in that way it was running, and the features that I saw didn't match. My car was still able to go, and as I drove down the road, I heard what sounded like gravel coming from my vehicle. I thought maybe I had gravel stuck under my tires and the impact dislodged it. And that was the reason why I was hearing the sound. I made it down the road just a little ways to a stop sign where I got out and checked the damage. What I was hearing was pieces of my front fender breaking off as I was going down the road. And I thought to myself, I am sure I will see all the pieces of my car as I drive back home and pick them up. So 9 hours later, I'm on my way home going down that same stretch of road looking for orange pieces of my fender. There is absolutely no evidence of where the incident happened, so no blood, nobody, and not one little piece of my vehicle anywhere on the road. So, of course, I was trying to play it out in my head and trying to figure out what actually happened while also trying to get my car fixed. However, it was still able to run, so I drove it for a little bit afterward. A few weeks after this happened, which is why I'm telling you this. I'm going down that same stretch of road. I'm getting to the area where this all took place. At this time, it's dark out. I'm going down the road. I look to my passenger sides because I'm still being cautious of things on that side of the road. And I see what appears to be a quite large dog silhouette with the same features that I had seen that day when I ran it over. I was going upwards to 60 miles an hour, and for the last 5 seconds, this thing was keeping pace with my vehicle. That's when I knew these two incidents were connected some way. You would think I would find a different way to work, but I haven't. There are many other ways that I can take, but for some reason I go this way. I am 1,000 times better, which brings me to my third and final event in my thoughts of the Dogman in West Tennessee. It is about 2 or 3 months after the first event happened. I'm driving down the road. I'm looking out into the field, probably, I would say, maybe 100 yards into the field, and I see an amber set of eyes staring directly in my direction. And judging from where it was and where I was at, I would say it was a good 6 to 7 feet from the ground. So this is the experience that I bring you, Jeff. And I would really like and hope for you to share this. Hopefully someday I will take a different ride to work, a different way to work. Jeff, thank you for bringing the information that you do to us. I enjoy listening to you and all the experiences that you have. I do appreciate you having the resources to let us know that there are things out here that we can't explain. Also, I did this through voice messaging, so the grammar may be off. There may be some punctuation error and some spelling errors. Anyway, I apologize. But I really wanted to tell you these experiences, just trying to get some answers. Tennessee is full of dogmen. 100%. All right. Guys, 3 hours in. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Mert, you're in my prayers, brother. Shackleneck, you're in my prayers. Aramic, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, why the fuck would you take that ride? Like, I'm going home on the same road that you hit a dogman, and you see another one that's running with you that wants to fucking kill you because you killed its friend. You know, like WLCC or WLLC. Thank you, Mert. You are 100% in my prayers. Like, I hope they get everything taken care of from you. I really do. That's scary. I'm scared for you, my friend. Like, with love, though. You know what I mean. Widmore. It is a mountain in Tennessee. I was tunnels go. Yes. I know where you're talking about. Bobby Kennedy talked about something in Tennessee once, too. He talked about the Virginia military base that's underground on Joe Rogan. But Bobby Kennedy, on some interview that I listened to a while ago, was talking about this opening in some mountain in Tennessee. Weird shit. All right. Aramic, have a good night. Richard, have a good night. Thank you for blessing me. Larry Lindman, I am so glad your fiance got new boobers. Thank you for blessing me tonight as well. Guys, have a great night. Stay safe. I'll see you next Saturday. Love you all.